I moved to Denver in 1994, and I met Christine at her parents' house. And I think it was like love at first sight.
By the third date, I knew that this was the man I was going to marry. I fell in love with him pretty quickly. And within 2 years, we were engaged and married.
We just celebrated our 20th anniversary.
We have 3 children. Andrew's 19, Natalie is 16, and Gabrielle is 12. Family is everything to us. It is the backbone of who we are.
I love my dad to the world and back.
He's strong, he's brave, he's loving, he's courageous, he's funny. He just knows how to lighten up the mood anytime.
We are always there for one another, supporting one another, going through different things together, and really that's what life is all about. A few weeks after George turned 50, he went in for a routine physical, and he had some blood work that came back just slightly off. So he wasn't experiencing really any symptoms at the time. He wasn't having any pain. He just felt like something was off.
I would look at myself in the mirror and I would say to myself, okay, something doesn't look right here. You know, something is off. I don't like the color of my skin.
About 8 months later, he did a multitude of testing, and then the GI doctor couldn't find anything that they could pinpoint, so they actually recommended that George goes to see a hematologist. Prior to jumping on a plane for a business trip, he went in, got his blood drawn, and a couple days later, as he was landing, the hematologist had left, who's also a dear friend of ours, he left a message for George asking both of us to come into the office. And that's when we knew it couldn't be good news.
We ran a series of tests, and in August of 2016, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma.
Definitely my first reaction was, no way, no way. This is a man who's been healthy all of his life. I can count on one hand how many prescriptions I filled for him. Vegan for 7 years prior to diagnosis. He was a runner, very active. He's in the gym all the time. And I just didn't think it could happen to us.
I came out with mixed emotions. On one hand, the typical, why me? I'm not the guy that's supposed to experience this kind of disease. I've lived a perfect life in terms of taking care of my health, taking care of my diet, living a balanced life.
Well, first of all, I felt like I had been punched in the gut as hard as anybody could ever punch me in the gut. And we had a lot of research to do.
Multiple myeloma is a cancer of the plasma cells in your blood. The plasma cells are a type of B cell, which is the cell that's responsible for your immune system. We started out with a great doctor who gave us a lot of hope. So on one hand, he threw the news at us. On the other hand, he gave us a lot of hope in terms of what was coming, in terms of the treatments, in terms of the research that was available relative to this particular disease. On the flip side, I really came out feeling that I was going to beat it. I almost knew that I was going to beat this thing.
The fact remains that about 50% of the population make it past 5 years. On the horizon, they're talking about a new cellular therapy called CAR T-cell, and it has been touted as the cure. This is still in early phase 1, phase 2 clinical trials, but it's showing great promise in patients of actually curing them of their disease.
And it's essentially a therapy that's based on re-engineering your own T-cells or your own immune system to recognize different types of cancer and to attack those cancers through your own immune function. We really are so close to a lot of these curative therapies that are currently in phase 1 or early phase 2 clinical trials. We are so close to those therapies, yet so far, because to take a therapy from a phase 1 clinical trial to a commercially available product in the market, it takes a lot of effort and a lot more science and a lot more dollars. So people have to understand that this is the time for more investment to start happening.
I've been hit with this personally, having my dad being diagnosed with cancer, and I'm sure that all of you have been infected by cancer in some way. And not only will finding this cure and donating to LLS, not only will it help my dad, but it'll help millions of people down the road from now who get hit with this terrible disease. And that is unbelievable that my family can make that difference, make that change.